Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jonathan here. You kind of have some NASCAR news to talk about, and this is kind of interesting. Some Bob Pockrass that Gene Haas will retain one of the Store Haas racing charters for a new entry of Haas factory team. That's what it says. It will also have two Xfinity program. Will operate out of the current Storehouse facility. Joe Custer will run the operations. So far, no mention of drivers, sponsors, or manufacturer in news release. So very interesting because when we thought they were done, and I thought Gene Haas would just want to go to with F1, stay with F1. Um, Kind of surprised that he still wants to stay in NASCAR with all the kind of what's going on recently, which then kind of wonder to me personally if this was more a Stewart or Tony Stewart um, idea that he wanted to get out, and Gene Haas maybe didn't want 100% to leave, and so kind of I don't know. It just seems very weird that all of a sudden now Gene Haas wants to stay in NASCAR. So to me, I think when they told the teams and the drivers and everything that they're going to have to find jobs, Gene Haas maybe was secretly kind of in the back, kind of saying, "Yeah, we're gonna leave, but maybe I might stay." That sort of thing. It just seems very odd how this is going, but um, I'm glad that Gene Haas wants to stay in NASCAR. Now, obviously, the mention of the manufacturers of the manufacturer that potentially could be not sure because from what I understand that Ford was not going to have another contract through Storehouse Racing, and that they weren't going to get, or if they did, they weren't going to get the bigger budget out of it, right? The engine sort of things, that kind of money. So, kind of wondering if he's going to go to Toyota or excuse me, or Chevy. That's kind of up in the air in that. I would say that if my best guess, I would say that Chevy maybe would be the preferred place. I mean, I don't know. It seems a little. I don't think that Toyota wants to add just one Cup car for what, right? And then add two more back to Xfinity. Just they got tons of Xfinity cars for Toyota, so I just don't see them want to add just two extra ones for what? I don't understand. So I would think Chevy would be the prefer there. As for Xfinity, like Chevy, yes, you have Junior Motorsports, but Chevy would definitely probably would want at least a couple more on their side on the Xfinity program. As for Cup, having one more really wouldn't make too much of a difference, I think, for their budget wise. So my best guess would be Chevy would be the manufacturer he would go with. Um, as for sponsors, who knows, right? I mean, maybe there's some out there that are willing to stay with Gene Haas. And of course, of drivers, like there's Joe Custer, obviously would be Cole Custer that maybe would run the Cup car, but then who would be the two car, right? So then if Cole Custer decides to move back up to the or the Cup Series program, does that mean like who would go into the two cars in Xfinity? I'm assuming that Riley Herbst would probably stay in Xfinity if he wants. They want to keep them if they still have good partner and relationship with Monster Energy. As for that other car, I don't know. Who knows that would be, but this is interesting because and the reason why I'm doing this is because I would have never thought Gene Haas would ever want to stay in the Cup Series or NASCAR in general, because the only reason why he was still relevant in NASCAR was because of Tony Stewart. Stewart bought in with Gene Haas to kind of basically save Gene Haas from basically collapsing and not be able to, handle the day in and day outs of the sport and having a relevant team. Tony Stewart came in and did all that. So I'm just kind of like, well, what's the point of you staying in here when Tony Stewart basically says, I'm out of here, guys. He's busy doing all his drag racing stuff and trying to start a family, and I would never have seen Gene Haas really wanting to stay. But this is at least good that one of the partial Stewart Haas is still alive, that Gene Haas still wants to stay in NASCAR and have at least a couple of cars for Xfinity and one for Cup Series. Now, I will say this. If he is going to only have one Cup car, how much does the alliance with another team play into this? Because I would think, just kind of like Wood Brothers are a big affiliate to Penske, that I would think that you would, if you're going with someone, especially I would say maybe Chevy, are you tying ties with Hendrick Motorsports, RCR? Where's that tie in? Because that's usually when you do a one car program, it doesn't seem financially sound to keep one charter for one car and don't really have anyone to help with the alliance of the program of setups and things like that, right? You're gonna want that help by some organization. So my guess is there's going to be a heavy force of another organization helping them. Either that is, if it's Chevy, either it's Hendrick or RCR, I feel like. If it's still somehow Ford, which I doubt, but if it is still Ford, I'm assuming it'd probably be Penske, or Roush, Fenway Keselowski. If for someone out of the blue it's Toyota, then it's probably going to be more focused on either, because I would say that 2311 has the alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing in some cases. I would say Joe Gibbs, right? So I don't know. This is interesting and pretty weird to come out this time that he's going to do this, but again, excited to see that he's at least going to keep some NASCAR programs going with Xfinity and one Cup car, and we'll see who's the drivers for those three cars there, and sponsors and manufacturer, obviously. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. Are you surprised? Or weren't that surprised? Or let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more NASCAR content and all general content on here with iRacing and all the stuff that I do. But yeah, for watching, and hope to see you for the next one.